All right, y'all, what's going on? Y'all, it's Just There's for Third Degree TV. And this is the first episode of Split Decision, all new boxing podcast for the real boxing fans out there. You know what I'm saying? Not just the casuals, but for every boxing fan. You know, we this ain't our expert opinion. We just love the sport, and we're excited to talk about it, man. So welcome to Split Decision. We got a great debater when it comes to boxing, someone that also knows their shit when it comes to boxing, is a true fan. My boy
What's the word? What's the word? Thank you for having me. Thank you
and we're
for
gonna talk
having
about some
me,
things
man.
today. What's the word, man? We're, we're hoping for Pel to come
Let's
up,
get
you
to
know.
it.
So we're going. That's another great boxing fan, good buddy of mine. So the topics for today, you know, we got Devin Haney talking, leaving boxing for 2 years and then coming back and rematching Garcia. What the fuck? And we also got, well, does anyone even give a fuck about Ryan's PEDs anymore? Anyway, Tank defeats Frank Martin in 8 rounds. Duh. So now we're gonna get into that a little bit. Paro defeats Matias, crazy ass upset, respectfully, and we're gonna talk about one
What about
boxing,
my
one
young
nation
boy
in the box.
Benavidez?
Oh, we got to talk about the
Benavidez
Mexican
just
monster.
performed.
Absolutely, we got to talk about the Mexican monster Benavidez, and it's an interesting fight. There's a couple of takes on that. You know, he did win, but at what cost at 175? You know, he looked super tired after the fight. There's a couple of complaints with that, so there's some curiosity surrounding
He
Benavidez
looked
and.
slow to get started too.
Mm-hmm. And last but not least, we got Turkey Alasik talking about a global boxing league. What the fuck? All right, so let's start. Let's start with the super hot topic, the biggest win of the weekend, and that was Tank Davis, Frank Martin. Yo, pal, I see you. Salute to my brother Pal as well. Okay. All
Okay.
right, welcome to Split Decision, brother. You know what time it is. We're gonna talk our shit.
Thank
So
you.
first topic.
Thank you for having me.
You already know. Thank you for pulling up. Seriously, it's not easy to. I want y'all to know that I definitely had to make sure I got the right people because some people don't know what the fuck they talk about. All right,
Facts,
so
because a lot of
first
people don't know
topic.
boxing.
Yo, they don't.
That's what we gotta get.
It's
I'm
a
gonna
big
order
fight.
you a shirt. I'm gonna order you a shirt that say you don't know shit about boxing, because a lot of people really don't know shit about boxing, yo. For real.
That. For sure, for real. And it's hard to have these conversations. So, you know, the first topic is probably the hottest topic right now, at least when it comes to big wins this past weekend. And we got Frank Martin versus Gervonta Tank Davis, man. That ended in a knockout, round 8. Tank does it again. Another one bites the dust. What are we talking about? What are we feeling about this fight, these results? Does it say more for Tank, or does it say more for Frank?
Well, I mean, for the most part, the card was decent. I mean, Frank, Frank fought the fight Frank was gonna fight. You know,
That's
he
what
had
I said about
a
the
strategy.
win.
He thought if he could lean on the ropes and get Tank to come at him, he could counter him and maybe get him to stumble. But I'm truly starting to believe that nobody could beat Tank at 135. It's not gonna happen.
I
You
don't I
had a
don't
better
think it's
shot.
I don't think it's nobody at 135 with enough power to stop him.
Yeah, he don't
And
respect
that's
nobody's power.
kind of so. Can you outbox them? Can you outbox them?
Who Tank?
But how long is that
Can
gonna
you
last?
outbox Tank? Listen, when we think about when we think about those potential matchups, even with a Devin Haney, take the KO away, right? When we're talking about somebody that long, that fast as well, they can kind of pop shots, pop in and out for 12 rounds without getting tired. Can you possibly beat Gervonta on the cards? We're not fucking knockout. We've seen this guy take some strong ass hits. We saw him versus Pitbull. He took some really strong hits and was giving them right back. So his chin is not even in question as well as his fist. Can you technically have enough to beat Tank Davis if you stay away from those crazy ass
No,
hits?
no,
Go ahead.
because in them later rounds you gonna slip.
Yo, the problem
Oh,
is
I'm
that
ready.
Tank,
Let's
the
go and
way
I got
he
some help.
the way Tank operate, like his whole fight plan is to accelerate. He don't like a lot of these fighters come out on 100 and then just go down. He come out at 50 and
Tank
go up.
almost gives you the first round.
Right, he give you the first four. He gonna give you the first four. That's why them punches be feeling like bricks. In the seventh and the eighth and the ninth, if you make it to the 12, you running. You on a bike on a 12. Cause he not about to be tired. He's still gonna be just like this, walking right to you at 12. That's crazy.
Yeah, and we kind of saw that last, that night too on Saturday. We saw him stay in his face. He kind of wasn't, even though he was getting hit with some of these punches by Frank. It's not, it's kind of easy to forget that he's willing to take some to give some. You know what I'm saying? But I think
That's
he's
the
always
main
willing
thing.
to bet on his strength, and his strength is just usually better than others.
That's the one thing about that rehydration clause that may be in his favor, because it's hard to have the power that you train with and that that you used to when
Right.
you got that against you. So again, at
I mean, the
130,
guy came into the weigh-ins doing backflips.
and at 135, this way he walk around at. Like, he don't really. It's not much of a difference for this kid. Like
He
5'5",
happily came
this
in
small
at
build,
133.
they giving up their power. But I think maybe at like 140, they have a discussion.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm curious about Frank Martin. We'll see him maybe more at 130, but his body fills up a lot. I wouldn't be surprised if he just kind of went up to 140. But
I
then
don't want to see him at 135 no more.
Right? I mean, getting on that scale looks pretty crazy. And again, we can still see him at 135 minus rehydration. I mean, Frank.
How much
got
do
hit
you
with that
pay
hydration
attention? How much do you pay attention to the weigh-ins?
I pay attention a lot, and I thought he looked really drained.
And did you
They
notice?
both look drained. They both
Did
look
you
very
notice?
drained.
Did you notice at the last
Devontae looks
weigh-in?
like he healthily slimmed down, but he looks like he's made weight for weeks, possibly longer.
Did y'all
Yeah,
notice at the last
you can
weigh-in
tell.
when
You
he
can
was?
tell. You
One
can
second,
tell both of them were a little dehydrated the night of the
possibly.
weigh-in.
I don't know. Devontae was caught eating a box of ice cream the night before the weigh-in, and he weighed in 2 pounds underweight and was doing backflips, pal. Like
ice cream ain't gonna put nothing on you.
No, you got like Frank looked, and Frank is not gonna blame it on the weight cut, and it's okay. I understand the pride and thing, but sometimes it's okay. Sometimes it's just natural. Listen, it still counts. It still is the reason. And that weight cut it didn't look too good on Frank. It didn't look. He couldn't really talk as clear as he usually does. If you notice,
I just feel like
I used to say the same thing about Devin when he was
oh my God,
when he was going back and forth with that 135 shit.
Yeah, once he turned like 22, 23, I was like, bro, you sure you still want to do this shit? God damn, he was. I mean, versus Lomachenko was probably the most drained he looked.
How important y'all feel is that in boxing?
Yeah, let's talk about that.
Y'all think that's a make or break thing? Like, now that Devin Haney got a loss, you feel like?
When I see the reaction to this loss, I think
we just really see.
I feel like that's because of Floyd.
Yeah, the 2 years.
No, we just.
Hell yeah.
I think really, to be honest with you,
niggas was
we come to
warriors.
We're in an era where a lot of people just don't care. They don't care about the rules of certain shit as far as this boxing shit go. Motherfuckers just like their favorite fighter, and that's it. It's no way in the hell that back in the days that you would be condemned from the sport
for L.
When we didn't have no social media and all of this shit, for a motherfucker to come on social media with road rage from steroids, and you got fucking people commending him on his fucking, and he could go out there and say God is good and all this other stupid shit he be saying. It's the hate. It's the hate. Yeah, it's the hate. It's the hate that people have for Devin Haney and Bill Haney is that nobody cares. It's like nobody even cares that this man got cheated. It's like, oh, everybody's still saying, oh, he got his ass beat. He got his ass beat. Why is nobody saying he got his ass beat by a cheater? They're just saying, oh, he just got his ass beat. It's just sad.
Yeah.
I think the reaction is sad that Ryan's been all over the place this whole fucking year. From talking about he done went to fucking to the
Bohemian
fucking
Grove.
to Bohemian Grove. They tied him up. He got the footage. All of this shit. He's just been
And
saying.
went to go save the children.
But I feel like that was the game plan, just so Devin Haney could think he not focused on
But
the
what
fight.
about now? What about now? Like, it's not stopping.
No, I think that was the road rage. I think that was the steroid.
You fought him already, right? Like, it just seems like maybe.
And he's still all over the place.
Nah,
Like,
he
maybe
still
he was
got.
already.
It
Maybe
works.
the Devontae
It
Davis
works
fought,
though.
honestly.
Like that character is needed in boxing right now. All right, so niggas got rid of niggas packed up Rolly. You don't see too much of Rolly right
Yeah,
now.
Rolly
So
packed
that
himself up.
so
And
that's
Brody couldn't back it up.
so that's sporadic energy, that big popping shit, no matter win, lose, or draw, no matter
Which
the
I fuck with,
allegations.
Rolly's a funny guy, but
Yeah,
you
no, but now
have to back it up. You can't be
yeah,
getting
but
beat
now
by Rolly.
when it was a Rolly, Ryan was really humble. Now it's no Rolly. Ryan is the new Rolly. Like he and that all of that makes for a bigger draw. For real, for real.
No, I mean he is, and it's crazy because someone just said it on Twitter. Was going back and forth with someone, and someone said, honestly, Dev is not. They were talking about him possibly vacating the belts. Somebody said if he doesn't fight Sandor, then there's no really. He's not really a draw without that belt. So unless if he doesn't take that fight, it kind of doesn't
He
make
not a
sense.
draw with that belt.
Well, to be honest with you,
he's only a draw for some fighters that really give a fuck about the belt.
He a draw when he
I mean,
fighting
don't get
a
me
nigga.
wrong. Don't get me wrong. Sandor Martin, he's a boring fighter, but if you watch that fight with him and Tio, he did win that fight. They cheated him.
Yo, I gotta explain
He did.
something real quick.
Him and Tio.
Him and Tio, he beat Tio. They robbed him.
Bro,
He's just a boring fighter. That's all.
Yo,
Sandor Martin
this
is
is what
just
I
a
was
boring
about to
fighter.
say. I feel like right now in that weight class, that 135 to 140, right now, it's all of them niggas is boring except for the top 4 niggas. You got
Well, I don't
Tank.
think Devin's boring.
Tank, of course, he's not a draw. Nobody goes to see Tank. Nobody go to see Devin at all. They go to see him versus Ryan, yes. And I think Ryan realized that early in the game. Like, if I don't do something over the top, this is not gonna sell. I'm coming off a loss. I gotta do something over the top to get niggas' attention for this fight. And I feel like he delivered.
The same part was that he was also coming off of an L. And in turn, that dropped his stock a little bit.
That's why he had to
Well,
do
really, it didn't.
crazy.
And really, to be honest with you, it didn't, because he still wound up negotiating a 55-45 split with Devin.
But that's only because Devin know that he's the biggest draw outside of Devontae Davis.
No. Basically, Devin knew that was the only way he was gonna get the fight. Any kind of way he would have asked for a 50-50, Ryan would have backed out of the fight. He had to give him some leeway.
He picked that.
I wouldn't
opponent.
have given him 50-50 either, because the same way that Devin felt like he didn't have to give 50-50 to Shakur, and I agreed with that too. You're not you're not that draw on this, and it's crazy because you could technically say Shakur might have been the bigger draw, but when it's for belts.
But the thing about it was that Shakur had nothing to offer Devin.
First and the belts, you're crazy.
Yeah,
right?
Shakur had nothing to offer Devin. He was giving him the whole kit and caboodle.
It was a very high risk, low reward situation. Now I'll say this though: if we talk,
I don't think nobody gonna want to fight Shakur. That nigga, there's no reason to fight that nigga right now.
No, it's not. I mean,
don't get me wrong. It's shit.
He got to run through the ringer real quick.
Listen, if Tank stay at 135, he ain't got but about 3 motherfuckers he can fight.
Well, this is what I'm saying. Let's talk about it.
Might need to go see Shakur Stevenson real quick.
That's what I'm saying. The crazy shit is they were supposed to fight.
They were supposed to fight. And guess what?
I think that's who should
It's
see
better
each
than
other this year.
Shakur and Javante.
22.
The only reason why I don't want to see Tank and Shakur is because I have never seen
He gonna kill that little boy.
Skates on a nigga's soul. God damn, the skates that he's
Shakur
about
need like 5 more fights, like 2 more years.
If you was on skates for De Los Santos, you're definitely going to be on skate. It's no way. There's no way you're gonna feel that power and you're gonna. He's not gonna stay here.
Yo,
This is what I'm saying. Look, but see,
look, fight that was horrible.
Before Frank fought Tank, he was supposed to fight Shakur. Shakur tried to lowball him. I guess he tried to say,
"Oh shit, you're right." He did the same thing Haney kind of did in reverse.
But see, but the thing about it was he didn't have shit to offer Tank. I mean, he didn't have shit to offer Frank.
I doubt.
I ain't gonna lie. Shakur don't want to see my son Frank. None of them niggas want to see my son Frank for real.
Let's talk about Shakur really quick. You know, because some people
who did he beat that we talking about? This is what I'm trying to tell you. We can't talk about this.
At 130, he beat everybody he was supposed to beat at 130. At 135,
he supposed to beat everybody. You one of the top proteges right now.
Bro, he's only had 2 fights at 135.
But what I'm saying, all his pro
and
record,
I think that's a big part of the problem.
You know what's so crazy?
18 fights.
You know what's so crazy? Yeah, that was under 130. But you know what's so crazy? He jumped up to 135. Devin Haney dropped all the belts at 135, went to 140.
And vacated the
And guess what? Shakur became the new email champion. Nobody talks about that. They emailed him the belt too.
I'm gonna keep it real. And I've seen them spar, and it was good work, but I'm not really understanding what exactly niggas think that Shakur is like. The knockout power.
I might could go 6. I might could go 6 with Shakur.
Man, Devin to beat his ass, man.
I'm not Devin, bro. I'm not gonna hold you. You're not saying on the punches.
Yo, y'all think Devin Haney is a good boxer?
He's gonna feel out. At what? At 140 or 135? At 140.
At 140, you think he's a good boxer?
At 140, I absolutely have Devin.
Absolutely.
Because now have a Shakur that has to sit on his punches to do some sort of damage. You're not gonna outbox Devin, right? So now you gotta start. You don't
think Shakur is a better boxer than Devin Haney?
No, absolutely not. We haven't seen that. We've seen
if you go by that last fight.
You could have showed it with De Los Santos.
If you go by that last fight with De Los Santos, absolutely not. Hell no.
Nah. I'm jacking that.
He's already a better boxer than him. He didn't have to run. That's what was pissing me off.
One thing, I don't give a fuck what nobody say. One thing about Devin, we found out that he could take some punishment. We found that out.
Fuck he can't. You seen that nigga getting ragged and you watched the same fight as me?
Bro, he got up every time, bro. This is what I'm saying. He got up every time.
Let me give you this though, and there's a lot of nuances in that fight too.
Yo, bro, when I got in a car accident, I drove home. That car was never the same again. It's not the same.
You're right. It ain't gonna be the same again.
Drove home, bro.
I rewatched the fight, right? I rewatched the fight, and I think this is what.
Thank God, cars and humans ain't the same. But I get what you're going at.
This is gonna be an interesting conversation we're gonna have, though. And I'm gonna be honest, right? I watched the fight. It took me a while. I'm really, I'm a fan of this kid. It was hard to watch. And I took
absolutely. I was hurt. I thought I got knocked down.
I took Haney and Garcia. We're gonna get to Benavidez.
I'm not a fan of Haney, bro. I was so happy the first time y'all had to hear me like, oh.
I rewatched it. I rewatched the fight. Now
he got belt that ass.
When I'm rewatching it, right? It was going the same way I knew. I felt that it was going when I was watching. I'm like, okay, after that first round, and this was what was a little confusing to me was his corner kind of blaming that first pop, that first round. To me, it wasn't that. The knockdown happened in the 7th because of the hook. Listen,
I
he
ain't gonna
slapped.
lie.
He
That
literally,
first one
he
was
started drop. That's when he started dropping the right, bro. Not gonna hold you. Haney was up on the cards for 5 rounds.
Absolutely.
5
But I look
rounds.
at it like this. I look at it like this.
Not only
Even
was he
with
outboxing, he was outlanding power shots. Like the fight was going well for this nigga. After the first round, that was it. That was the big moment. He popped him. I said, "Oh shit!" You know, I was in the crib like, "What? Nigga, you
yo.
better
As
not.
soon as this shit happened,
Nigga,
you the
you
first
better
person I
not."
thought about. I
Bro,
was
I felt like
waiting to
his
get on
pops.
Instagram and find you.
I felt like his father,
I
nigga.
am front, I'm telling you, the
But
whole the world was against my son Devin that night, yo.
yeah, for
All the
Nah,
sure.
way in the
yo,
world. I'm
listen.
talking about the whole universe was
He
against my
not.
son Devin,
He
yo.
did that to himself.
Nah,
How he
nah,
did
nah.
that to himself? The nigga
You
lost
see
to a
how?
cheater, bro.
Nah.
Why
No.
are we not,
Let's be
bro? Why
honest.
are we
It
not
wasn't the
forget?
world. It
How are
was
we forgetting that this dude test
Bro,
positive?
Garcia's fan base, when niggas said was underestimating his fan base, it wasn't the world because everybody that was anybody as far as in the sports game had Devin Haney.
No. I ain't gonna front. A lot of people, especially people of Ryan's race, was going for Ryan. A lot of
But that's the
people,
culture. That's how boxing work.
That's
Period.
how boxing
The
go.
Mexicans versus the Puerto Ricans, the Dominicans, the Cubans, the blacks. It's
yeah, a lot of
versus the
people. It
Russians.
wasn't like people
That's
were
how
not
boxing
picking
works.
Ryan. It wasn't like a lot of people weren't betting on
Now,
Ryan. A lot of people made money off of Ryan.
most active people in the sport though were on record going for Devin. They were like,
So
I
I got a
know.
Absolutely.
random. I got a
I'm
random
not. I'm not
question.
questioning that. I'm not
I got
saying
a
that.
random question.
Yeah.
Let's say I made a bet that day, right, on FanDuel, and I hit for $1 million off Ryan winning. You think because he tested positive and because whatever they might overturn it, that a nigga
FanDuel
might
ain't
have
go.
to get that money on back?
FanDuel already paid you. They don't give a
That's what
fuck
I'm
no
saying.
more.
They not gonna have to get that money on
No, but
back.
But the
he might get one hell of a
But
fine.
he's gonna get a hell of a fine. I'm telling you, this
For
Friday,
all of that, they gonna make him pay. Vegas gonna make him
we
pay.
listen. We're gonna get into all of that. We're gonna get into all of that because
I wasn't gonna get to the real reason why, like PED or not, there was a point in time
I don't feel even like that's the
where
reason why Devin lost. Just for the
no,
record,
I'm gonna be honest.
that wasn't no
I'm
PD ass
willing.
whooping.
I'm
well,
willing to
no,
get to the PEDs. I like to control what you can't control, right? Like if I'm in his corner, I'm trying to do as much adjustments as possible. And what I started seeing was a lack thereof. I just wasn't seeing any other adjustment. It was he got knocked down, and it wasn't, all right, Devin, you're gonna start fighting on your back foot like you normally do. You're gonna back up a little bit. You're gonna get your head together. Because
yep,
you still punch drunk, and you never been in this. You never been down.
yep,
You barely even been the underdog going into the fight, and now all of a sudden in 6 rounds your world is upside down.
yeah, yeah. I
I
totally
felt
agree.
like
I mean, if you look back, if you play back the footage,
corner,
if you play back the footage when he got knocked down, you could tell he was more shocked than anything.
I mean,
He was
the
he was like a
one.
deer in headlights, like like me
But
got knocked.
I think that
You know what
same
I'm saying?
shot.
So
And got up
I think
and
that
was
same
right
shot
back down in a
after
couple minutes later.
after the second, it was like, oh, okay. And I'm
After
not
I
gonna
wanted
lie.
them to throw in the towel, bro.
I'm glad they did it.
I think I'm gonna be honest with you. I think the second knockdown, he
That
was
would have
so
been
fucked up. He
if
was
they
so
threw
fucked
that
up that if they would have stopped the fight, I would have agreed with it. But due to the fact
Yeah, I
that
thought they was.
but
I
here,
felt bad for that boy.
I
due to the fact
think
that
do that towel thing
he
though.
was the champion, they had to give him some kind of leeway because
Just
you the
like they
champ.
did with that with
I think that would have
Fury.
destroyed him, bro. I think that would have destroyed. I don't think.
Thing what just happened with Fury, he was been supposed to get that stoppage, and because
Yeah, but
his
that now,
legacy, they
actually, to
not
be honest
stopping.
with you, everybody keep thinking that was the fight was supposed to have been stopped. No, when he was
Nah.
leaning and falling all over the ropes and all that shit, he was only supposed to got a standing 8 count.
Yes.
That's all it was. He was supposed to got a standing 8 count.
He
He
beat
was
all the counts
he
though. This
was
is what
looking
was
bad.
interesting.
OG, I ain't gonna lie.
He beat all the counts, which was crazy.
Anybody else, they would have stopped that fight.
Yeah, but you got to remember, this is for all four belts. This is
That's
not
what
like.
I said. That's what I said. That's why they let it
in
rock.
a championship
Because it
fight.
was for that.
Not,
Yeah, that's why they ain't do it to Devin Haney.
I mean, but
They
I'll
could
say
have.
this.
You know why? Because Devin belt wasn't on the line due to the fact that Ryan didn't
Yeah,
make
he
weight.
didn't make weight. Yeah,
And
yeah.
that's why I say this was more. This
So
became
it
about
still was it was pretty much a
pride.
discretion from the referee. It was
This
his
Right.
whatever he decided what he
this
wanted
I
to
feel
do.
like
also
his pops was supposed to throw that towel
this
in, like,
became about pride,
Yo,
and I think the pride was
yo,
also from the corner too. You
from
know what
his
I'm saying?
pops.
I
I
think
feel
it
like
both.
his pops is like LeVar Ball, and that's
But
why I don't
I
like
don't
that
think
nigga.
Devin. Would you say this? Do you think? I think though, just seeing the kind of guy this kid has developed to become, and he was very serious about the whole. He was under Mayweather. He looks up to. He still, even whatever beef they have, he still mentions Mayweather
You see
as.
him hanging out the car last night,
Let
arguing
me
with
ask you
Tank.
something though. Do you feel like throwing the towel in would have ended this nigga career though? Mentally,
Yo,
like
not
I feel like
not only
mentally,
was I
I
supposed to beat the shit out
I
this
feel like
nigga,
I feel like
I
mentally his
also
career is
I feel
already
like
over.
getting knocked down 3 times.
he
Do
I
wasn't
feel
gonna
you?
like
quit.
his career is already over
Yeah,
mentally.
it's over mentally.
I feel
I
like
mean,
Get break.
when
so
he
look,
when he announced
His
that he was taking
2 year break.
2 years off, when
Yeah,
he
that's
announced that he was
over.
taking 2 years
what
off,
do y'all think about
That's
that?
yeah, he's done mentally.
I wouldn't say done, but I look at it like
He's extremely young,
you
y'all.
looking at other avenues to make money, so you can find something else to do with your talent, because I mean shit, two
I don't
years
think so.
it say all right, we all agree that he lost the fight, he got his ass whipped, so we're gonna say he need a year off. You saying you need 2 years off clearly feel like mentally you have lost it.
Yo,
You see
Yes,
what I'm
what
saying?
niggas usually say? Yo, we gonna go back to the drawing board,
and
name
then
our
now, and I
team,
think
Yeah, and
do
now,
whatever
that
makes
takes
sense,
about a year.
and
That
see
takes
what
about a
makes
I
year.
think
sense.
I think
That's it.
now,
That's
and
all
then
they say.
I
That
mean,
nigga said 2 years.
you gotta keep it real, because now it kind of now with the PED shit, you're kind of like, okay, so was it me? Like, was it me and him? Like, who? So was it my? You know what I'm saying? You don't want
Well,
to now you're in this position where you could give yourself an excuse,
But
but that might not be the best
well,
thing to
I
do.
mean,
this what I'ma
the
say.
only part I do agree with him on, as far as that tweet he said, I'm gonna take 2 years off and spend all of this money he got. So he got some money, and he want to enjoy his life with all his
I'm not
faculties.
mad
Just
at it.
got that money from that fight that he got his ass whooped at.
Well,
Yeah, I mean,
I heard nobody got paid. From what I heard,
they said they
See,
hadn't got paid yet, but it looked
yeah,
like the
well,
fight.
that's that's his
it's been
biggest payday
when
he
you
ever
ain't get
had.
paid that. Look, the fight was 420.
Yeah,
You ain't listen. Listen, somebody got to see somebody now.
Yeah,
So
somebody gotta go.
yo,
Facts.
the check
That
probably
might be a
cleared.
Don King situation over there.
yo, only in America. This is why look, I would have had to come to
Two
somebody's house.
years,
Listen,
2 years.
you done fought the fight. You done got knocked down 3 times. You ain't got paid. I might have to fuck around and pick
Yeah.
somebody's kids up from school. Word up.
Yo, word.
I
I would
mean,
have been. I thought they wired that check before the fight, like, and get a bonus for
No. They
after.
say that they say that there's a wait period. Naturally, there's a wait period, and
Cause you
then
get a
I don't
purse
know. I'm
regardless.
wondering
That
if
no, no. You know what, though? Let's keep it real.
for real they said
that
there's like a 30
that
day
goddamn
wait period.
that
he's
goddamn
smoking that
lawyer.
good. Yo, I be mad when I be seeing niggas smoke they weed and they coughing like that. It's like, why I don't? What are you smoking? Let me get that.
I am fine. I'm smoking some moon rock right now, but
Yeah, you be smoking that other
fucking
shit.
yeah, I'm smoking some other shit. I'm like in another world right now, but nah, I ain't gonna lie to you. With it all being said, you know what I'm saying, in the sport being so brutal and shit, like
Yeah,
I ain't gonna front you that should be the best thing you want to do is come out of that shit with all your faculties and some money. Cause we can name a lot of
I
broke
mean,
ass
in
boxers
2 years
that don't got their faculties and don't got no money and
But
shit.
he's
So
a
you know what I'm saying?
kid,
So like,
bro. He's still a
That's what I'm saying.
kid.
But in 2 years he'll be 27.
yeah, but shit, an ass whooping like that, you can lose all your
Yeah,
faculties.
nah, that's what I'm saying. But this, before we move on from the topic, what I wanted to say, I'm not even like on the PD thing because Ryan didn't do anything extraordinary besides the same thing
Well,
that we
well,
all
well.
knew he
Well,
had.
remember, I don't think it doesn't
When
make
we
you
get off the
magical.
StreamYard, right? When we get off the StreamYard, I want you to look up this drug called oxygen, right? And I looked it up and I did some research, and basically it's like a drug that it turns on. It's like you turn on your power like in the later rounds. It's
So
like
it behaves like a anabolic steroid, and so what it does is that it doesn't necessarily just give you the pump you with the power immediately. Like steroids don't even work like that in general, right? Like
Right,
it's
right.
like a
They
the
just
time
make
reliever.
you work out.
yeah,
It just
and then
give
and
you
so
the energy to work out.
yeah, more well, it's more than energy. So now, so it starts. I don't know if you guys have heard of like collagen peptides or things like that. Like those are natural. And what
Yeah,
does it promote?
not.
Bone density, right? So imagine a
Mm-hmm.
fighter with more dense bones than normal, right? So it starts producing stronger bones, stronger muscles. It makes it easier for you to cut that weight without losing muscle. That's like the main. That's the main part is that you're able to gain as much, which is why some people start looking kind of fat or like overweight after a while, and then they slim down and they cut all that weight. And so when it comes to testing, while a lot of people were like, "Whoa, how are you testing throughout camp? And how are you testing positive throughout camp?" And then all of a sudden, during the later tests, you're negative. During the later tests, you're cutting the weight. So it's storing in your fat. As you're losing that, some of it start, especially if you're microdosing, it's more of a seep, as it's seeping out as opposed to just you're gonna pop, super dirty. But this is also why it's illegal to have IVs. You take IVs during the ending, or I think during the period of your training and while you're
Mm-hmm.
testing,
And
supposed
he
to
and
take
he's
IV,
on he's
just that.
on video with an IV in his arm.
He did, and so this is where it kind of is a little weird for me. I'm like, well, dude, you also did take the IV, like,
But
I almost
what
felt
I'm
like he
only
kind of made
thing
it
I'm
obvious
saying
and just
is
didn't care. I don't know. It's kind of weird.
only thing I'm saying is he put
Or he
that
just
nigga
didn't
down.
know personally, and the team couldn't.
Yo,
I
bro,
think
he
he's
put
gonna
that nigga
go. I
down
think
with
he's
the
gonna go
same
with
level he been
I think
putting
he's
niggas
gonna go
down
with
with
the
since he
regular
was a
excuse
kid.
that all of these
That's a fact.
PED
That's a
cheaters.
fact.
I think he's gonna go with the regular excuse that all these PED motherfuckers say when they get caught. Cause ain't nobody in the history of fucking steroids and PEDs ever came out and said, "Yo, man, I fucked up,
Yeah,
bro.
I did
I
that
fucked
shit.
up. I did
Yeah,
that shit."
yeah.
So he's gonna go. He's not gonna go
My
to
son
Canelo,
John
right?
Jones.
He's not gonna go to Canelo route where it was in my
Peep this.
meat. Alicia
Well,
Bumgarner got caught. She popped dirty too, right?
yeah.
When she went to the court, when she went to the to the commission, they deemed it to say that she took it, but it was unknowingly.
Unintentional. Yep.
It was unintentionally. Like she didn't. They saying
And what can you
she
do with
didn't
that,
know.
right? What can you do
And
with that?
that's crazy. So you just run around here drinking shit, taking shit. You don't know what the fuck. It's sad that that's a way out in a
I think
sport
for
that you
American,
control the narrative of your body and shit like that.
I
yeah.
It's
don't care
sad.
what they do. I just want Devin to have that loss on his record.
I think they're gonna take that L. I think they're
Well,
gonna take
they
the L.
definitely gonna take the win from Ryan. He's not gonna keep that win.
Yeah.
It's gonna go to a what you call it. It's gonna
It'll
go
be
to
it'll be
a
no
no
contest.
contest. It's
Yeah.
gonna go to a no contest. Devin's gonna get his 0 back. And I mean that's what it's supposed to
You're
be.
not gonna convert it to no win. Like there were people
It
talking
definitely.
about
I mean,
converting it to a
when
win. I
he
was like,
asked for
absolutely
that,
not.
Nah.
You're
when
not
he
doing
asked for that, I didn't
that.
like that. I didn't like that at all. You can't.
Yeah,
That's
the
not.
lawyer. I think the lawyer was pushing more, and I'm like, no,
No, that's insane. That's insane.
you're not
That doesn't happen in boxing. You can't get the
for
win.
sure.
The
I don't
only
know
know
when
what they
people get
for
knocked out, bro.
Tank can't play that bullshit with Lomo. That
What
Lomo shit.
bullshit?
That's what
I'm,
every time my
he can't
son
let.
knocks somebody
Listen,
out,
he
they
can't.
bring
I
another
don't think
nigga
he
up.
can let
Give me no
Lomo touch
respect. Give
him.
me no
Hold
respect.
on. I
You
don't
feel
think he
that
can let
because you
Lomo
knock
touch
people
him
down.
the way Frank was
So you
touching
know
him. I
why?
don't think.
Loma fights in the middle of the ring. He's not about to run around. He's gonna bring the fight to Javante, and I'm telling you, Tank is gonna time all them little swervies he like to
My
do.
son is one of the best
Timing
counter
them shit,
punchers
bro.
in this shit.
Putting him to sleep.
He one of the best counter punchers in it, and
I
he
got
got
Tank
one of
by
the best
KO.
knockout
I'm
ratios in
saying.
boxing.
I got Tank by
I'd rather listen. I'd rather see Lomo than Shakur right now. This is why I'm saying this.
I mean, if I had to choose, yeah, I would go with Loma, but it's still gonna
But
end in
the
nothing.
only thing I'm saying, my son got like 27 knockouts, bro. He is that. I don't care what Lomo do. You got to get hit, and if you do, stand up.
I
Bro.
mean, shit. Lomo taking he give. So I'm not worried about that.
Niggas said
I'm
that
not
about
worried about
mad
that.
people. They said that about mad people.
But he hasn't been in that ring with this nigga, bro. This nigga is
Well, I could say Lomo. I think Lomo's had the better resume. I think I say Lomo had the better resume than Shakur and Frank. So I feel like
could be cool. Listen, remember, Errol Spence. We were saying the same thing about Spence. I was the first person saying that shit. Look, who has Bud really fought? He hasn't really truly been tested. You know what I'm saying? A couple of people have been on their heels by the time he's fought them, and look what happened. That resume shit don't.
But you gotta watch the video from back in the day, 4 or 5 years ago, maybe 6 years ago. Bob Arum told Earl Spence, "Stay the fuck away from Bud Crawford."
Yeah.
Stay the fuck away from that man. Earl was just, I think Earl was past his prime anyway and shit. That car accident shit and all of that.
You know who about to go check that boy, Bud? My son Boots.
What y'all think about Canelo?
Boots about to go see what that nigga talking
Boots ain't
about,
ready.
Bro.
Hold on,
Boots ain't ready.
Speaking of Bud. Speaking of
Boots
Bud.
is up there. Top 5.
Boots is up there, but it might be a Tank and Frank Davis situation.
Man,
that's what it is.
Bud
That's
beat
what
the shit out of Boots,
about to say.
man.
If Frank Martin could get a shot, they gotta give my son Boots a shot.
Yeah, but you know what it is? They gotta get Terrence want that money. He want that money.
Terrence want Canelo. What y'all think about him moving up 2 fucking weight classes?
I told you,
shit,
Canelo
look,
mandatory is
Canelo
my young boy right
from where
now.
he at.
He not
Canelo came from where he at. So why the fuck it's not possible?
He
I don't
not
understand
taking,
why people.
He not
Yeah, because
taking
Canelo
Bud.
came from 147.
But why
Canelo about to take Edgar Berlanga.
Yeah, that's trash though. This is should I be talking about? Like, why would you take Edgar Berlanga for this?
Yo, let me tell you.
That's an easy fight.
You know, Eddie's not ready for that.
He's
gonna fucking knock the shit out of Edgar Berlanga.
It's gonna be just like Nate, but worse.
Who?
Canelo. That's a knockout.
You seen Edgar fight?
Yes.
Man, I know Edgar. Man, that nigga ain't ready.
He's
not ready.
You from New York?
Let me tell you something.
I'm from Brooklyn.
All right. Do you be going to that gym in Bushwick? That scrap
I've been there before.
I grew up in that gym. Bro, son he didn't leave the first round until his 10th fight, bro. But you know how hard at 147, you know how hard you gotta punch to not leave the first round in 10 fights?
Bro, that nigga not beating no Canelo, bro.
Who did? That's Mike Tyson shit, bro.
Nah, he need more than I want to see him fight
that nigga Edgar. You know who I want to see him fight Cal Plant. I want to see him fight Plant.
If he fight Caleb Plant, he putting that nigga out.
No,
man, Plant to beat the shit out of that boy.
If he could go,
Plant to beat the shit out that boy, man. Plant to box the shit out that boy.
He could knock him out though. He could knock out
that nigga if he don't got nothing else.
I ain't gonna front. Berlanga gets frustrated. He gets frustrated.
And when he get frustrated, he fight like a Brooklyn nigga. When he get frustrated, them shits turn to bombs.
Bro, Canelo had Plant on the skidates, the skates.
Plant not fucking with no Edgar.
I don't even think Berlanga could beat McGill.
The rest of the world feel differently, making him the man.
That's a good fight.
That's a hell of a fight. Him and McGill.
Listen.
I don't like the Canelo
world feel different because he's the mandatory.
Listen, the only person, it's only 2 people on the planet. Well, it's only 3 people on the planet Earth that could beat Canelo right now. That's Terrence Crawford,
I agree.
Bevo, and goddamn and Benavidez. and Benavidez. That's the only three
Benavidez,
people on
my
the planet Earth.
man. Son, I'm jacking
Those are the only
Benavidez.
three people on the planet
Yo,
that could
so
beat Canelo, and that's why he's not fighting them three niggas.
Berlanga and
That's
Benavidez
exactly
to
why,
throw blows?
bro. Who?
Yo, Benavidez will beat the shit out of Berlanga,
At
yo.
what
I'm telling
weight
you.
though? Not at
Not
147.
No, not
You
at
see
one.
how he had? You see
You know
how
what?
he had Boom Boom? You see how he had Andretti? That's how
They could
he had Berlanga.
They could
Bloody
fight.
out there, bro.
Yo,
Fight at 168.
my
They
son
could
not
fight at
no slouch.
168.
Yo,
My son not
Berlanga is
no
like
slouch.
a C level fighter to me. He's not even
This is public record.
Nah,
When my son start putting niggas on their pockets,